All right, Blue Star Seafood, Michael, we're hanging out. You've gathered together some delicious, delicious fish from the Gulf. You're going to go through these with us. First of all, can you give us 30 seconds on Blue Star, what you do here?
Well, Blue Star Seafood is a local company, pretty much based out of Fort Myers. We only service the Fort Myers, Collier County, Lee County area. And some of the fish I just pulled out for you, just take a look at it. This is basically the fish that you'll catch here in Florida. So Blue Star carries a long line of different fresh seafood all around the country, and some imported from the Mediterranean and over in Europe. But the fish I pulled out for you today is basically what you'll catch here in Southwest Florida.
Switch sides
and also
with
the
me
East
so we
Coast.
can hear you real well. There we go. Thank you. Go ahead.
So some of the fish I just pulled out for you is some Hog Snapper. Now these generally can get much bigger, but we have only in stock today that are kind of on the smaller side. These are about like 1 to 1.5 pounders. Back here we have black grouper, which this is a carburetor, which is what they consider a true black grouper. Underneath here is the red grouper, which you pretty much catch the most here. When our fishermen go out and fish here locally, right out of Fort Myers Beach, about 80% of their catch will be the red grouper.
So black and red, what's the difference?
The red, as far as I'll tell you from like the taste profile, that you'll generally have on the black grouper, they're generally bigger. They're a little bit, I would say a little bit more firmer, a little bit more meatier. The red grouper, some would say maybe it's a little bit more sweeter. The texture is a little bit more soft.
Which one's a predator?
Both are good.
Which one's a predator? Which one's a bottom feeder?
No, neither one of them are pretty much bottom feeders. They're both pretty much, they don't migrate that far, either one. They like to stay around shipwrecks. Basically see anything that good that passes them, and they'll, smaller fish and swallow it up. Down here, we've got golden tile. This is actually more so coming from the east coast of Florida. Generally, we get most of our stuff from the northern part on the east coast of Florida, around Jacksonville.
That's a cool looking fish.
Yeah, it is. It's a good, really nice white meat too.
Can you open up the mouth on that one?
Sure. Sure, you can see in there. Really
Got quite the tongue on him.
I think the most prehistoric one is usually like the hog. The way they have like their teeth and the way their mouth opens up like that. Over here we got, which is also very, very popular, which you'll see in a lot of the menus in the restaurant in Florida, is yellowtail snapper.
Yep, here it is.
Very especially very popular down in the Keys. This is, as far as size-wise, this, I don't have an American red snapper, but this is a mutton snapper. They're generally a lot bigger fillet, a lot bigger than like their brother or sister, the yellowtail. And the last one here is a Tripletail.
Now we had that last night at Gather.
Oh yeah.
It was delicious.
It's good. It's a good fish. It's not as plentiful as the grouper or snapper. But yeah, when we get it in, it does seem to be a pretty popular item.
Now, triple tail, you can figure that one out right there,
Yeah,
why they call it
exactly.
triple tail.
Yeah.
That's a unique look to the fish there. I'm wondering.
They don't, as far as I know, it's almost like a bycatch. Unlike some of the snappers and stuff, they can catch in great quantities. These guys like to hang out around buoys when they're fishing for them, up on the surface. That's how they sort of target the triple tail, so it's harder to catch in bigger quantities.
Michael, is that yellowtail, is that tied to a tuna at all? Is that snapper and tuna? No relation, right?
No, not that I know of. The shrimp here just coming over here. This is pink shrimp, which they catch here right in Florida too. It was like Florida gold. I think we have the best shrimp in all the world right here in the Gulf of Mexico.
At what point's it a prawn?
Pretty much when you speak of a prawn, it's usually what you would consider when it still has the head on it. And other people refer to, like if they're talking about a bigger one with the head, they refer to more as prawns. You can refer to the one's head off too, but generally people just mention like it was pink shrimp.
Now clear up something for me, Michael. Those are red, which I always thought they're red, they're cooked. Or no?
No, these are pink shrimp. So they already at a raw state have a nice pink color.
Yeah.
This is very, very beautiful, clean shrimp.
They look
like
delicious.
I said, we got the best shrimp, and not only in America, but I think all of the world right here in the Gulf of Mexico.
Are you eating those for dinner tonight?
I think I might.
Why wouldn't you? Okay, so we're
And this, I just want to show you too. This is clams that they catch right here out of Pine Island. We'll say catch, but they harvest them right here in Pine Island, which is only about 20 miles west of us, Pine Island, which is a very great harvester. And that's basically we carry all our clams from them that we service through here at Blue Star.
well, you have a knife out. Is that just coincidence, or were you going to show us something?
That's up to you. You want me to pull out a fish and show you some of the meat or something like that?
I mean, we'll take whatever you'll do, we'll take. If it's something that's going to be an inconvenience, don't worry about it.
Well, let's take. Which one would you be interested in looking at? I'm sure you already seen the grouper before. It's
Yeah.
quite common.
That's true.
Tripletail you had last night.
That's right.
Let's try the big golden tile.
Well, let me, and you turned us on to a French chef of yours that we're probably going to go see here. What if we brought him a little treat with us?
Oh, you're talking about Chef Andy Hyde?
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. He's not French, but he does cook French cuisine.
What do you think he'd like to have that's just fresh, and maybe he could cook for us really quick?
You know what? Let's do. He's good with anything that you hand him, but he does like to be like on the creative side. So let's give him. We'll see what he'll do for you tonight with the golden tile.
Let's do it. Okay. All right, this is cool. What a treat this is.
Just give me about a minute. Let me get some gloves.
No, you're fine. Yeah.
Man, what an incredible experience, Greg.
Thank you so much, Chef John Hill, for turning us on to this gentleman. Blue Star Seafood, Southwest Florida. And again, it's one of these places where they service locally. They've actually made a lot smaller service perimeter so they can take care of their customers as best as they possibly can. Michael's going to break down one of these fish. We're going to bring it right to the chef, and you can't get any fresher than that, can you, Michael? Thumbs up.
All right. Exciting. Greg, wasn't it wild, these right here? I mean, that mouth, the way it expands open that large. I mean, bigger than any of the other fish. Just,
All right.
Let's look at that.
Take him over here.
It's about as treated as you can get here. Okay, chef. This is special.
Might want to come on
I'm
the
going
other
to come
side.
on the other side, that's for sure.
Straight-handed.
So just kind of tell us what you're doing and how you're approaching this and breaking it down.
Well, it's very simple. We're just gonna take this top half right here. I'm just following down the spine. Just trying to keep my tip right along the spinal bones right there. This fish though, it is a little bit trickier. It does have a bone that runs straight down the middle, about all the way down to about this far to the tail, which is called like the pen bones. Unlike the other like snapper and grouper, they end right here. So almost when you get it, you almost have to separate the fillets once you already have it cut. Just how far those pin bones run down the fillet. So I'm already hitting it right here. So I'm just gonna cut through these bones. And then I'm gonna reach over to the other side of them and then start going down the bottom half of the fillet. Right it. Just right down the rib bones a little bit. As soon as I pass the rib bones, just cut down, flip it over.
Ooh, you just made that look so easy, and I know it's not. You can really destroy that meat if done improperly.
Yes, and I do so. I generally don't on the cutting table as often as I used to be, but they had some other guys in here that really show you how fast they can do it and how clean they can do it.
Those bones
I can
and
get through.
scaling a fish. When do you need to scale a fish?
Well, you generally on most of the smaller fish, if the chef wants to sell the whole fish to the customer or serving for 2 people, it's kind of popular to use one of like yellowtail snapper, like a 2.5 pounder, and serve it to 2 people, the whole fish, and then you would want to scale it. Also, some of the salmon, some of the chefs like to serve the salmon skin on, so we would scale that for them here too.
Nothing like a sharp knife. So this meat, I mean, you can grill this, you can you can do so many things with this.
You can. It's a nice, pretty firm fish, so it won't flake up too easily. So yes, you could throw it on the grill. You can do pretty much anything that you could want to do with how preparing a fish, and it'll hold up pretty nicely. So now these bones here that I was speaking of earlier, these pin bones, the way they go too, they actually curve underneath the meat, so they're kind of a little bit tricky to take out. So I got to go underneath the fillet a little bit to remove it, but yep, that's there.
Oh.
And then a blue star too, we generally want to give the chef like 100% usable meat. Some of their fish too, like the salmon, they'll have a lot of belly and stuff on there, but here at Blue Star we always trim up the belly pretty well, even though it's more costly that way for us, but we want to give the chef like 100% usable product.
I know what Brian's thinking right now. Okay, how much did that fish weigh total, and then how much can you actually sell?
With the yield out of this, I'm guessing with the golden tile, I think our yield is somewhere probably right around like 34 to 38%.
Of live weight.
Yeah.
Wow.
With the way that we do it, some other places they'll leave the skin on and pin bone in, but if you're removing all the skin, all the bones and everything, yes, you're gonna only get, I think it's right around like somewhere around that area of usable meats.
Well, and if you're a chef, you want someone to bring you only the stuff that you can use.
Well, they do, but they look at this
else
too and they go, oh my God, well, we know chefs that'll do so many great things with just that.
Yeah.
But to get this is incredible. So, you get shrimp tonight, we get this. Wow, what a treat!
There you go.
This is fantastic. This is coming your way. It's Chef Andy.
Hi.
Andy Hyde.
Chef Andy Hyde. Tell Andy it's coming his way.
Yep. It's coming to you, Andy. Get ready. Fire up that grill.
That's good stuff. Okay. This is about as good as it gets. This little tour has been fantastic. It's really made our trip so worthwhile. So we
glad you come.
Thank you
Enjoyed
from the
it.
bottom of our heart. We appreciate it.
Nice meeting you guys too.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you.
Blue Star Seafood. It's the best of the best in Southwest Florida. And if you're in Naples, there's a good chance you're eating this fish.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. Just ask for it.
Thanks again. Here it comes. Chef Andy, it's on your way.